the next presentation will be by Martin Krammer, who is the project leader of the DCP project. So Martin Krammer has background in telematics engineering and is a senior researcher at Virtual Vehicle Research GmbH in Graz, and he is an experienced project leader and contributes to various national and international research projects and standardization organizations. Martin, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Christian. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great, and you should be able to see my slide set, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, hello everyone. I want to give you an status update about the distributed co-simulation protocol, so the Modelica Association project. Basically, I want to start with a development that we finished earlier this year in 2021. So we also, during the ACOSA project, when we developed the DCP, we already thought about the idea on how to test the DCP. So when you have implemented, let's say, a DCP slave, the question is how to test it. And during the project, we came up with the concept of having a DCP tester and a test generator that basically can be used to create customized tests for your DCP slave. So at the Asian Modelica conference in 2020, we have published a paper about this concept. And what is new, so what is worth an update, let's say, to inform you, is that we have now bundled this software and updated these software packages. So we have now available the DCP tester and the DCP test generator in separate repositories. And we also wrote a white paper on testing that basically explains a few things if you really want to use these software packages. And we also provide now a Docker container. So we containerized this and made this easily accessible. So who is it for? Basically, it is targeted for DCP developers who are actually implementing the protocol and who want to, let's say, test their implementations, not only test the implementations, but to also to automate these testing steps. So this was published earlier this year. So if you're interested in that, check out these links. So basically now for our current developments, so we have collected quite a lot of community inputs, and we decided to aim for a version update. And we also decided for a version update that includes non-breaking changes. So that basically means that for those of the people who have already developed DCP slaves, they will also be able to use these slaves with the new version number. It will be 1.0.1. So what changes do we propose now? We have corrected quite a lot of typos in the specification document. We will improve some blurry definitions in the specification with respect to error handling. So we did some analysis here and fixed some issues. We also aim for the replacement of the master-slave terminology. So this is not fully fixed yet, but most probably we will go for the term DCP unit. For the master, we are still looking for a corresponding term here. We have collected a list of suggestions. It's also available in the DCP standard repository. So this is not fully decided yet. And the most important update, we will introduce an additional operating mode for non-real-time operation. So this is known as NRT mode. It actually fixes unnecessary overhead when no slave-to-slave data transfer is configured by the master. So just think of two slaves communicating with one master, And if both slaves do not communicate with each other, so have no direct communication between them, then we found out that our current solution, or the current communication protocol, has quite a lot of overhead. So the current version is shown here on the left-hand side in this red box. You can see the PDUs that are sent by the master and sent and received by the slave. And we found out that in this situation, it is actually true that we have a lot of overhead here that also causes problems when the NRT mode, let's say, is used for very fast execution, so that simulation is slowed down here. And we thought how to improve this, and we came up with two variants here. First variant is that we reduce the communication effort by omitting some PDUs. So we are saving here basically 4 PDUs. And the advantage of this solution is that we are fully compliant still to the current specification. We maintain full control of the state machines that are specified in the DCP standard. So there are no major disadvantages here, I would say. But we further analyzed this protocol here, and we found out that we basically could omit even more PDUs. So we could do, in theory, with just 3 per cycle. So in this situation, we would have a massively reduced communication effort, of course. So we could save 7 PDUs here, actually. But this has a lot of disadvantages. So basically, it breaks all present DCP conventions. And we are basically violating a lot of rules here, a lot of specifications that we have in the specification document. So we will not go for this variant 2 here, but we, in the working group, we decided to go for this variant 1, and we will offer this variant 1 here as an NRT2 operating mode. Under the precondition that no slave-to-slave communication is contained by the simulation scenario. We've built up quite a backlog with topics to discuss or to improve. Most of them would actually qualify for a major version update. So those topics would most likely break the protocol the current protocol in some way or the other. Those topics include value conversion based on unit definitions, the setting and getting the internal states, as we know this concept from the FMI. The topic of multicast is was quite heavily discussed, and also automation issues like the topic of auto discovery, for example. So we did not make a decision here, so this is in the backlog. If you have some inputs on these topics, or if you want to see these topics in the next version of the DCP, please contact the working group, please contact the DCP consortium. So one word regarding the supporting tools. It's quite a sparse list, I would say. We have right now 4 tools listed on our webpage. So it's the open source DCP lib implementation, and we have also 3 commercial tools available, or draft versions available. So it's Model Connect, Simulation X, and also XMod. Well, if you have any questions about the DCP and the specification, just write an email to this address.